Hey guys, here aka Genius. So recently we made a sort of a trial video to join our racing competitive crew in GTA 5, and we've sort of experimented with that, and it seems like quite a few people have been passing the trial, which is great. But the problem is a 2:04 lap time on Chapel GP is quite slow, and the track itself is quite simple. And when I've seen these submissions of people sending proof, and no offense, but people spend hours and hours trying to get a 2:04 lap time, and 158 is easily possible, consistently doable with the top hot lappers in the crew. So that's a 6-second difference. So if people are spending hours trying to get 2:04s, right, that doesn't really give us any sort of information about how good the driver is for our crew. So that's the reason why we're changing the trial system for this crew. And to be able to join us, it's going to be a little bit more complicated. Not complicated, but it's slightly more tough, I suppose, from the previous trial. So it's going to be 2 tests, one of which is going to be consistency, which we're going to be looking at. So we're going to be setting you 3 laps on this particular footage, or on this particular track that you're watching in this footage, called Tongva Circuit, created by Sammy M. And the other test, obviously, is a hot lap test, but on a slightly more technical track, because obviously Chapel GP is quite a simple track. So on a simple track, 2:04 is really slow. So that's the reason why we're sort of giving you a nice little technical track where test everything to do with a racetrack to be able to pull off a particular hot lap. So this particular test, first of all, for the consistency test, is on the Tongva Circuit, and it's quite a technical track. So 3 laps on this, you got to try and get 8 minutes 25 seconds on the dot, or quicker than that in total time. So in total of 3 laps, you got to get that time, and that's basically what you need to set. So when you actually do this, set non-contact mode, do 3 laps, and literally from go, just consistently push yourself every single lap without choking. We've given you sort of an opening, so you can make like 1 or 2 mistakes, but you really can't afford to make mistakes, put it that way. But let's say maximum 1 mistake, and you can still manage to get 825 if you recover quickly. But if you respawn once, then you'll fail the trial. It's that simple. That's how we sort of set the time. We've averaged out all this. We've done many tests on this track, so we've averaged out all these sort of players with different skill levels, and we come up with 825 in 3 laps, and that's the best we can come up with. So definitely it's going to be a challenge. It's not going to be straightforward. Really, if you're good at racing, put it this way, if you think you got what it takes to join this crew, wow, that was a struggle. And then obviously you can easily get 825 and just join the crew, and obviously get a 225 on Vinewood GP for the hot lap and join the crew. So this is just a 3-lap total time consistency for a trial test on Tongva Circuit. And then the second track, which you'll see on this particular footage, will be a hot lap test. For you can do unlimited laps, obviously, and all you got to do is get 2 minutes 25 quicker, the best possible time you can get that, or the limits so you can push yourself on that track, possibly 220 or 221. But we're giving it 225 simply because it's nothing like Chapel GP, where it's simple open roads. It's quite a technical track, so 225 should be a decent time to get. That's quite quick, to be honest. Still, I suppose, comparing it to top 10 hot lappers, that's kind of slow, but an actual racing environment, 225 is a decent time. Obviously hot lapping is different, but still a 225 hot lap is still decent. Yeah, so these are the 2 tests for the trial. So obviously what you need to do is provide proof and evidence and whatnot after you've completed both these tests for both of these tracks, and quite simply just join the forums. You need to submit this within the forums under the thread for the VIP Sweatbackers VIP crew trial section. We're not accepting any lap times or any sort of evidence or proof for the crew trial on Twitter anymore. So basically you simply be directed straight towards the Sweatbuckets crew forum, and that's linked for that in the description below. Just simply sign up to it if you haven't already, and get involved in discussions, because quite a few discussions going on there. It's quite competitive as well when it comes to hot lapping. It's quite the sort of the hot topic there, as expected. But quite simply, if you get into the top 10 spreadsheets, then you can submit your times there. And we're also working on the spreadsheets as we speak, just to get a little bit more interesting and sort of incentive for people to actually get involved, rather than just doing it for the sake of getting times up there. But yeah, it's going well at the moment. The community is growing. I mean, I've been extremely busy over the past day. Actually, yesterday I was extremely busy working on this particular sort of trial system to see which one will work best for our crew. And hopefully whoever passes the trial could keep up with the rest of the crew when it comes to the racing environment. And don't think that we only race non-contact, because that's not what we do. We also do contact racing. We only do non-contact whenever we are hot lapping. So we don't actually consider that as racing, obviously. But contact racing is what we're doing now as a primary sort of racing competitive environment. where we actually involve racecraft, which is something that a lot of people do have, and some people don't, and that's something that is interesting to see, because there's quite a few good hot lappers in the crew, which I must admit have poor racecraft, and I in particular don't really have that great of a racecraft as well comparing to other people. But one thing is obviously is having the patience is something that is really, really important, that a lot of these hot lappers need to learn, is that patience is key when it comes to having to attack someone from the back. So yeah, what you see now, right, scored a 2:45 lap time there, right? The initial lap, first lap was 2:50. So and what you notice is that I haven't really choked. I mean, you saw a little crash there on the railings on the side when going downhill, but realistically speaking, consistently going right at your own pace, you can get 825 on this track, right? But if you make a mistake where you fly off, or you hit a barrier, or you completely spin out 360 degrees, but if you recover from that 360, then you can do it. But if you go to a full stop, obviously the 825 time will be quite difficult to pull off in total, or within 3 laps. And remember, you know, it can get frustrating, because considering it's quite a long track, you know, 2:50 or 2:45 average lap on this track is quite long. So 3 laps is quite a bit, you know, 8 minutes, you know, have to concentrate on that. And that's part of racing, isn't it? So we don't want players, you know, just to pass one hot lap trial and just join the crew, but not, let's end up just choking every lap but not being consistent, because that's just no point. That's not racing, and that's just gonna waste your time in our crew. So, you know, just for your own sake, you know, this is the best method we can go about it, even though it might be frustrating to pass the trial. But once you do it, I suppose it'll be worth it, because what our crew provides, just like any other racing crew in GTA 5, provide proper racing, because obviously we know public lobbies are horrible. For those of you in the Xbox 360, what we're also doing is working on duplicating tracks right now. We've got quite a few Xbox guys who are actually going through the spreadsheet and actually precisely recreating tracks, like literally pinpoint accurate, with checkpoints and prop placements. So I think we made about 10 to 13 tracks, which is also available on our forums under one of the threads. You can simply just get involved in that and submit your lap times there for the top 10 spreadsheet, which also we're counting for the Xbox guys as well. So if you're in the Xbox community, feel free to get involved in that. We're slowly remaking these tracks, and I'll be verifying these tracks once I know they're fully, you know, confirmed with the accuracy of the duplication between the PS3 and the Xbox version. But for next gen, we're going to be moving on towards obviously the PlayStation 4, which is our primary console for our crew. But obviously, hopefully, we're hoping that Xbox One's going to have the duplicating system, where the options given, where the tracks will get transferred for both consoles without having to actually recreate them. So that is something we're hoping for. That way, both communities get involved, because right now we're sort of restricted to just the PlayStation 3 community, which is kind of difficult and kind of sad, because the Nodo crew, which we're sort of rivals with, those guys, obviously it's great competition with them, but only competition we're having now is sort of the verified tracks that Broofy has made, which is duplicated for both consoles. So that's the sort of hot lapping competition we have at the moment. We can't really do proper racing with those guys. But anyway, you see that 8:18 is my total time on that, sort of consistently going in 3 laps. But we're giving you a 8:25 barrier to break for a total time of 3 laps. Now, moving on to the hot lap track, this is where you sort of just, you know, do however many laps you want, but, you know, try to basically get 2:25 on this track, you know, or faster. It's about 2:25 on the dot, and not 2:25.1, 2:25 on the dot, because there's quite a few people that submitted for the previous trial that given 2:04.5. You know, that's not acceptable. You know, that's extremely slow, by the way. So you want to just get a 2:25 or quicker on this. It's quite a technical track, because you can see it's quite a bit of Vinewood Road, so it's quite narrow. So a lot of concentration is involved. I find it funny when people actually say this game is quite simple. It is not, man. You think it is, but when you're actually going for something, when you target something, right, things completely change. Yes, you could be lazy, and this game is quite straightforward. I understand there's no detail to it when it comes to games like other Sims, but this is not a sim, right? This is arcade. This is an arcade game, so it's just got another whole level of skill gap to it compared to another game. Point is, all right, not a lot of people do say we take this shit way too seriously, but I would say time and time again, it's not taking it serious. We just want a fun community that will take racing, who want to do racing properly. We give you that availability there, because people do get frustrated. Like literally, a lot of people simply play GTA for the racing aspect of it. You know, some people have their preferences, isn't it? So you got to respect that and go for it. And a lot of people, you know, some people take GTA 5 team deathmatches seriously. Some people take golfing seriously. You know, this sort of shit, you know, if you give the term seriously, it doesn't make sense, because there's no such thing as seriousness. It's what you do to have fun in a video game. That's all it is. And to have fun, you gotta have the right set of players with the right mentality to do that, and to get a similar sort of skill level, sort of bring that competition there to get that fun and the involvement. That's all it is. That's all we're providing, and hopefully you guys can respect that. So anyway, this is the 2 tests that you guys got to do and provide proof and evidence with your photo, whatever, on the forums. The link in the description below under the VIP crew trial thread. Once you pass these 2 tests, then you can join the crew. Just send an invite with your social club name, whatnot, on the thread. The rules are there within the thread post. You can see for yourself if that's easier for you. But yeah, this is a 2:22 lap time by me. So this is sort of a demo to give you guys an assistant, or sort of, so you can see visually the lines to take to get the lap time to pass this trial. Hopefully you guys enjoy the video. Good luck with it. If you want to join the crew, as I said, Xbox community can get involved, and we're working on the recreating tracks for you guys to actually get involved within these races. But as I said, the tracks are available at the moment for Xbox 360 on the forums, so check out the threads there. Check your son out, that piece. You must wear. Hey guys, Shaggy here, aka G-Unit. Full credit gone to Bruffy and his crew for figuring this one out. Off-road tyre is pretty much a must-have on any car that you use for race with.